Hey guys, how's it going? It's the Crypto Analyst here, and I hope all of you guys are having a good morning, evening, wherever you guys are from. And today I'm going to be explaining parabolic market cycles, what exactly they are, when they occur, and all the little ins and outs that you need to know about when the next parabolic market cycle comes. So if you guys don't know what a parabolic market cycle is, it's these extreme run-ups that we have in the price action of specifically cryptocurrency. Most likely, you guys probably know the one from 2017 with Bitcoin and a lot of the altcoins, but this has actually happened before, and we're going to be breaking that down in today's video. So if you guys are interested, go ahead and stick around for the video, and do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button, as it does help out the channel a lot. With that being said, let's go ahead and dive on into this because, again, parabolic market cycles are something that cryptocurrency is noted for, and this run in 2017 wasn't the first time that this has actually happened. Now, going back over here, what we can actually see is that around the time of 2014, we actually had something very, very similar occur, and even in the same time zone of, later part of 2019. So if we go back and we make this a little bit larger on the 1 day, what we can actually see over here is that, this has happened before. You can kind of see the same patterns forming out, but the most similar one is the one from 2014 over here. So what we know is, of course, this lead up, you saw this, this price lead up in the second half of 2013, which eventually, when Bitcoin went parabolic in the end of 2013 and really peaked out in November, it kind of had this retracement period, this giant bear market, the hardest bear market that Bitcoin has ever had up until today. And so when this happened, again, this was just this crazy period of FOMO, and Bitcoin was all over the news. If you guys were around and even looking at the news during this time, you guys would know that, this was a very big deal when this happened. Now, with the price retracement going all the way from $1,165 all the way down to a low of $152, everyone was saying that this was capitulation, this was the end of Bitcoin, it had died, it had failed, etc. It was really just all of this horrible news of people just being over dramatic about Bitcoin being dead, and it was just this period of complete grief with the media absolutely bashing it in to the point of where they were saying that it was just dead and gone. Now, obviously this was not the case, and here we are 4 years later. So what you see is really just this market cycle over here of Bitcoin turning around. And so this is really a 4-year market cycle. So I think we had even a previous one before this. So what you see is about every 4 years or so, Bitcoin goes through a full market cycle or a full parabolic cycle. Now, it happens in other things too, but I think the most notable of them is Bitcoin. And that's what we cover on this channel. So explaining this a little bit better, here we are 4 years later, December of 2013 to, of December of 2017, this thing went parabolic all over again in October, peaked over almost in November, except this time we peaked around December 11th. So again, around the exact same time, 4 years later, we had ourselves a nice parabolic market cycle, another parabolic run-up, and this was the case of it. Now, we're having the exact same situation. If you guys were around during the first one, what you guys know is about the second one. Of course, we did retrace all the way from nearly $20,000 to a bottom right now of around $3,100. So now, again, not saying this is the bottom. It's very possible, but, again, nothing is for sure. If you go to the retracements of this, I believe this one was an 84% retrace, and we're currently at an 85% retrace on this market cycle. So if we did bottom out in this range, it would make a whole lot of sense because of the fact that they have retraced. Both of the parabolic market cycles retrace around 85%, and that's exactly where we're at right now. So if we were to bottom out in this range, it would make a whole lot of sense. Now, something I want to highlight is that, of course, we have this initial breakdown in the first year after this market cycle, and then we have this consolidation period where we see ourselves kind of having this rounding bottom that transition us, and this transitional period that transitions us into the bull market. Now, of course, you go from your bull market to your bear. Let's actually highlight this. So we go from our bull market over in here, and then we have our bear market over in here, and then we have our transitional period over in this range. So if we go back over here to 2014, of course, the first thing that we can see is kind of look for this, all right? So looking at this from the same perspective, of course, we can highlight the the bull market pretty easily, and then we can see the very clear bear market over here. And then after this thing has consolidated enough, again, it takes another leg down, much like our descending triangle that we had over here in this range. We had our final drops over in here, and then we had the consolidation period and this rounding bottom over here in this range. And again, there is periods in between bear and bull markets, and that's exactly what this was. You don't go straight from a bear market straight back into a bull market. You have this consolidation transitional period that transfer this. Now, this is a lot of what we're seeing today in the fact that we're getting this rounding bottom of sorts. And again, it does look very similar. I'm not saying it's going to work out exactly the same, but you can't deny the fact that these are similar. So going over and looking back at Bitcoin, what do you need to know about parabolic market cycles? So if you're trading in one, or if you are looking to buy, ideally you do want to find this in this transitional consolidation period, and that's where ideally the best place to buy is. Now again, I'm not saying that this is that area yet, but note the similarities. So ideally, if you do want to get the best buying opportunity for these parabolic market cycles, what you do is you make sure you buy in this rounding period over here and this transitional period, so that when this does go parabolic, you're able to take your profits at the top. Now, one of the biggest mistakes that people make in parabolic market cycles is that they're so fed up with essentially with the longing and buying Bitcoin that they try shorting it. And then a lot of people try shorting it too late, so that when it starts going up again, they don't believe that it's actually the next market cycle, and they try shorting it at every opportunity they get. When in reality, you should start being hesitant about shorting Bitcoin in these ranges, and more, I guess, optimistic about longing Bitcoin in these ranges. So one of the biggest mistakes, or one of the biggest things that you probably have heard is HODL, or buy the dip. Those are two of the most popular phrases that I've heard in all of cryptocurrency. And in these market cycles and in bull markets, it works, because essentially what you're saying is that this runs up, and then it comes back down, you buy the dip. It runs up, buy the dip. It runs up, buy the dip. It runs up again, you buy the dip. Every time it runs up, you just keep buying the dip. And that works in these bull markets, these parabolic market situations. But quite clearly over here in bear markets, that doesn't work, because you're going to continually be losing more and more money. So each market has its own approach over here. And that's why you have to be careful, just because people were used to this bull market because that's all they really ever knew. And that every time they tried to buy the dip over here, they were continually getting wrecked over and over and over again until the floor fell through of this thing. And of course, now they're buying the dip down in this range. So the last thing I wanted to give you guys about parabolic market cycles is the fact that when these do happen, you do have to recognize what the top looks like and significant levels. So of course, 20,000 being a major psychological resistance. The fact that we even got up there was pretty crazy. But looking at this, when this thing starts reversing and starts forming a lot of it's essentially just bearish divergence. You can start seeing this on indicators and oscillators and on candle charts. When it peaks out this volatile and goes from a $20,000 candle all the way down to around an $11,000, $12,000 candle, that's a pretty good sign that you're having extremely heavy resistance in this zone. It's not necessarily a dead giveaway that this is going to be the reversal in this range. Of course, there's going to be a bounce from something that drops this much, but a lot of people saw this and they said, oh, we'll just keep going up. It's not that big of a deal. When you drop nearly $8,000 to $9,000 in a matter of a couple days, like, that is a drastic level of resistance, and too many people really took this lightly when it happened and shrugged it off their shoulder. Again, that is a clear warning sign that you need to be selling off in this range. One, it's psychological resistance. Two, if you even if you missed selling in this opportunity and you started seeing this thing turn around, the clear drop of $8,000 to $9,000 in a week was, to me, a dead giveaway that this thing was getting ready to reverse. If we go back to our same market cycle over here in 2014, we can kind of see the same exact situation happen. So when this thing went parabolic, what you had over here was a little bit of a different situation. But of course, when this peaked out over here at around $1,165 and then dropped all the way down to $800, again, that is a drastic drop in the price action of cryptocurrency. You have a kind of a similar situation over here, so you could have very well thought that this could have been reversing. However, after this high was broken, that would have been it. Now, the one thing that I would say over here that was really the dead giveaway for this run up in 2014 was the fact that you formed the lower high over here. So not only did you have this drastic price drop over in here, what you did have is when it came back up, you had a lower swing high on your candle chart. I think we can actually look at this as well. So yeah, and you had really the same thing happen on your RSI. You had lower highs happening on your RSI for the first time in like a long time. And so as soon as you were starting to see lower highs on your RSI and your stochastics and on your MACD as well. Your MACD was falling off over here. Looking at this, I see again, I don't want to make this too complicated, but after this swung up and formed a lower high, this was the dead giveaway to me that, okay, I need to be selling in this zone. A lower high is a very bad thing, and a great sign that this could be reversing. And of course, you started seeing consistently lower highs over here, as you can see in this range as well, telling me, okay, we could be entering into this bear market at this point, and I'd probably be pretty comfortable with shorting. And then again, the fact that you are continually forming lower highs all the way down here is telling me and confirming to me that this is going to be the bear market. And even if you're able to catch this at this zone over here around, $681, that's a whole lot better than catching that you're in a bear market when you're around this zone of $245 or even $368, right? So I guess one of the biggest takeaways from this is watch for lower swing highs, not just lower highs, but lower swing highs. So if this comes back in, bounces, and then comes back up and it's a lower high, that's a lower swing high, and that's really what you have to be careful for in parabolic market cycles and when looking at them and adjusting them. So for the most part, based upon historical analysis, what we know is that parabolic market cycles in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency generally happen every 4 years or so, and they usually go, of course, very parabolic up, very parabolic down. They have a consolidation period, and then starts the next bull market shortly, or a little while after this consolidation period. The one last key takeaway that I want to give to you guys about these parabolic market cycles is the fact that they go up faster than they go down. It is a very clear, I've said this a ton of times, but these parabolic market cycles, they go up nearly twice as fast as they go down. If we want to judge this over here, what we can see is that we started our price at around, let's just say $4,000, right? $4,000 on September 20th, right here. What we did is we hit, let's just say $20,000 on December 11th, or on December 15th, excuse me. So from, what was this? So from September 24th all the way up to December 17th, that's, roughly a couple months. And then in order to get back down to the same price range, I'd say, well, what is that, like 3 or 4 months? That's about 3 months. So yeah, that's roughly like 3 or 4 months from going from $4,000 to $20,000. In order for us to get back from $20,000 to $4,000, it took us nearly an entire year. So of course here we have December 15th, that area, all the way back to around December 11th of the following year. So it took us about a year to go from 20K back to 4K, but it took us around 3 to 4 months for us to go from 4K to 20K. So pointing this out, again, people always forget the fact that markets go up faster than they usually go down. At least Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies specifically, they tend to go up a whole lot faster than they come down. And so the fact that it went from 4K to 20K in 3 or 4 months, and it went from 20K to 4K in an entire year, should be, again, just a clear indicator of the macro of cryptocurrency and how it moves. People always kind of get so pessimistic down here and say, oh, well, it could never go up that fast again, when in reality, just do a historical analysis over here. Look at these macro moves. These macro moves go up, 2, 3, 4 times faster than the market drops. So I just want to keep that in mind over here about the macro moves of cryptocurrency and really the parabolic ways that they do move, when they move, and how they move. So hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, please hit that like and subscribe button. It helps out the channel a lot. Drop a comment in the comment section below. I want to know your guys' thoughts. I want to know what you guys think about this whole parabolic market cycle that cryptocurrency has really the reputation for. So hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, I will see you guys in the next video.